Thank you, everyone. As you can see, my name is Tommaso Lapiana. The idea today is to give a brief overview before we delve into the very interesting pitches and other panelists that we're going to hear today. What is exactly BeEntrepreneurs? What is Startup Africa Roadtrip? I want to provide just an overview and also looking at a few numbers of what has been happening. Wow, this is really bright. Thank you very much. I will be brief. We just look at a few numbers. So first of all, I want to remember to everyone that this is the 9th year of activity for the association. So it's been almost 10 years. We are 1 year away from hitting the 10 years milestone. And I would like to remember to everyone that what we're talking about here is, first of all, an organization that is based on the passion and the commitment of volunteers. We are all volunteers interested in the startups in the African continent. So I would like to ask you a warm round of applause for all the volunteers, those that are present here today, because without them this wouldn't be possible, basically. What do? We train, we mentor through the mentorship months before the roadshow, and then we also do the acceleration through this moment. This is the 3rd roadshow that we do, and it's our way of creating this connection between African ecosystems and European one. It's in particular our own Italian ecosystem. As I was mentioning, we have a long story behind of us. We started in 2017. Andrea actually started with a pilot project in Uganda. Our focus, the focus of BeEntrepreneurs and Startup Africa Roadtrip remained focused in particular in East Africa. So multiple projects in Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania. I think it's also worth to mention that our focus doesn't end there, because we also did, since 2024, also projects in Congo and in Morocco. Last year we were in Tanzania to do the bootcamp. As Andrea mentioned, we received more than 600 applications, and you're going to see today pitching the 6 best startups out of these 600 applicants. We are right now doing the 3rd Italian roadshow here today, in the most important day, I would say. So thank you again all for being here. This is our moment of also meeting all the volunteers, all the people that are helping us making this possible. And we are getting ready because in August this year we're going to go to Nairobi in Kenya to have a new boot camp and a new cycle starting. I promised numbers, and here are some numbers. I think they speak also a little bit for themselves, because in these 9 years we have helped with the training of more than 450 entrepreneurs. Half of them were female entrepreneurs. And in total, the startups that we accelerated are around 150. And our alumni have raised the astonishing number of more than 17 million euros. As I mentioned earlier also, we had 7 African editions in 6 different countries, and you're actually now part of the 3rd edition of the Italian Roadshow, which, but we will see it also later. In total, 3,000 African startups were scouted and mapped by our association in the past 9 years. So let's talk about let's briefly talk about how this all started. Who are the 6 startups that you're seeing here today, and how did we meet them during our bootcamp in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, during last summer? First of all, 672 applications that we received across 19 different countries. Our scouting team selected then 25 startups to be invited at our bootcamp in Dar es Salaam. Because how does it work? There is the first step, which we receive the applications. Our team of volunteers selects, scouts actually the startup that could be most interesting for our program. And then we invite them for an on-site bootcamp in the location that was decided. After that, they have the access to the final demo day, in which, thanks to a jury of local partners and local stakeholders, we are able to select the startups that you're actually going to meet in the roadshow. Before the roadshow, these startups are mentored online for the 8 months that go by between the bootcamp and the roadshow. And right now here we are in, I think, the peak of the moment. We are almost at the half of the week of the third roadshow that we have. As I said, these are a couple numbers again. I think it's worth mentioning that in the past edition, we saw a 35% of application from agri-tech companies. And what we are, I think, particularly proud of is the fact that this bootcamp was located in Tanzania, but we didn't receive only applications from Tanzanian startups. Actually, we received application from 26% of them, they were Kenyans, 19% from Uganda, 11.5% from Rwanda, and 5.7% from Zambia. I think this also speaks a lot about how much is going on actually in these kind of countries. That said, what was the bootcamp? As I mentioned, 5 full days on site. We had more than 8 plenary trainings hours. And we provided around 40 office hours with various mentors. Of course, we always include local mentors because all of our volunteers, or most of them, work somehow in the innovation ecosystem, either from Italy or in some cases also in other European countries. And we put, of course, all this skill set. We try to provide, our skill set to the startups, but this wouldn't be enough, of course, because you cannot solve the kind of problems that African startups are trying to solve just with our skill set alone. So for us, it's very important to partner with local mentors. Potentially, they are successful founders from the ecosystem, ecosystem enablers, investors from that ecosystem. In particular, in the last edition, we had more than 10 experts across the 5 days of the bootcamp, and 2 open public networking events, one of which was the demo day. That said, what is happening right now? We are actually, as I mentioned, right at the half of our very long week, as all the startups and the other volunteers can confirm you. We have been non-stop since Sunday and Saturday, actually, when the startups arrived here in Milan. Yesterday, we were hosted at Primo Ventures for an amazing day of working in the morning with their various divisions, where the startups had the chance of speaking with very insightful investors that specify in the kind of verticals that could be interesting for them. And also in the evening, in the afternoon, we held an aperitif event with other VC, business angels, and alike, always in the Primo Ventures offices. Finally, this morning we were actually in BIP that hosted us for an amazing corporate matching day where a lot of our current corporate partners or potential corporate that could be interested in co-creating something with our startups in the various different ways that this could be actually possible, had the chance to meet startup with a matching and a speed dating kind of format. Finally, we are here today at the Startup Africa Day public event, which basically it's first of all a celebration of the work of the startups, of the work of the volunteers, and of course like a celebration of this connection that we are working very hard to create and foster. Tomorrow, the startups in the morning will meet some other interesting companies from the Italian ecosystem, in particular from the Milan ecosystem. And afterwards, they will move to the We Make Future fair in Bologna, where they're actually participating also, not only just with the stand, but also with the participation in the big competition. It's actually a global competition. We actually have one startup that arrived at the final stage of the 5 best startups across all the countries from the applicants. And finally, we're gonna close the roadshow next weekend with a tourist trip at the end of all this work. Finally, I'm ready to just introduce you the 6 startups. I'm not gonna spend too much time here. You have the leaflet. If you didn't receive it at the entrance, I'm sure you can find on the tables these leaflets that contain all the information, not only on the roadshow, but also on each startups. So you're also able to get some information before hearing their pitch, and hopefully having the chance of connecting with them after their pitches. So as you can see, the verticals are quite varied. We go from health to agriculture to social impact and nutrition. Sorry, this was the end. I thank you very, very much, and enjoy the rest of the night. Bye-bye.